chances are that you've probably already tried to get in a routine with your health, your fitness, and to better yourself, to look and feel better, but you failed. That's not an uncommon thing. A lot of people are in that exact same position where I'll start again next Monday. Next Monday comes, they put it off, they keep delaying, and it just repeats day on day, week on week. And I want to help you understand like why that happens and how we can actually solve that, because this is something that one-to-one with my clients, I help them work through, I help them overcome. And it is more than just personal training sessions that helps us get that. By you watching this, I hope you actually understand exactly what's going on and how we can fix it. The people I work with, typically women, people who are busy, they're stressed out, they're exhausted, and they don't really have a lot of time for themselves. They put everyone and everything ahead of themselves to the point where they always run out of time, they always run out of energy for themselves, because by the end of the day, after, say, a long shift, after a long working week, they don't really have much more space for them. What ends up happening is, if you think about a cup, think about your life, your energy, yourself as a cup. A lot of the cups end up broken, cracked, leaking. They leak energy everywhere. They're just running on empty. I want to help you understand why every restart has failed you and why it hasn't actually been you that's failed. It was never a motivation, a discipline, or a willpower problem. It was your expectations, your approach. There was something missing in there. I'll show you the system that actually makes that consistency automatic without it feeling forced, because most coaches, most trainers, they try and force more motivation on you. They try and shame you into change and guilt trip you if you don't follow through your training or your nutrition plan, when the reality is there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. The whole point of my program is to help you not just feel stronger, but physically become stronger, mentally become stronger, more resilient, to look leaner, to actually lose fat, lose weight, and maintain a leaner physique, and to be finally consistent, so that everything that you do throughout the time that we work together in the gym, with your nutrition, with your habits and your routine, that becomes an enjoyable part of your routine. And if you enjoy it, you're a lot more likely to become consistent. You can stick to it. And this is what a lot of my clients say. It becomes an enjoyable part of their routine that they actually look forward to. There's no more relying on willpower, pressure, motivation, or needing to do 2-3 hour gym sessions 5 days a week. A lot of the time it's only an hour 3 times a week. You don't need to cut out everything you love. You don't need to track every single thing that you eat. And you don't need to feel like you need to end your rest, because you already deserve it. I have worked with over 100 clients, and I know a lot of people like fling around numbers and say things like this, but since August 2019, I have been personal training full time since then. Of course, lockdown came along, so then there was a lot of online coaching that kind of came about. Ran some group training programs, a lot of it geared towards not so much just fat loss or just muscle gain, as much as that's the benefit a lot of people get. It was really about the habit, the routine of consistently showing up for themselves with their exercise, their nutrition, their sleep, just everything that keeps them feeling well. During lockdown, that was a time where people's health and wellness was a big priority. I help the people who really benefit most from what I do are the busy, hard-working people, typically the women who are too busy taking care of everybody else that they run out of care for themselves. And on screen right now is just some of my clients' transformations, but I think more than a before and after photo. Many of my clients' lives changed in a much deeper way, especially their mindset. I've got over 40 testimonials that show this, that kind of tell a bit of this story about my clients' transformations from before and after working with me. If you wanted to read them, they're all at the end of this, or you can just Google Ryan Gordon and it'll come up. But that's not my point. I want to just let you know that this isn't my first rodeo, right? I've been doing this for a little while, and I take this pretty seriously. The testimonials that you've just seen, that is just tip of the iceberg. My clients consistently say things like, I've got my spark back, the fog lifted, I feel like myself again. And that last one, I feel like myself again, that is the whole point of my program. That's exactly what I want to help my clients with. I want my clients start by saying, if I was just more motivated, I'd finally be consistent. If I was just more disciplined, I'd be consistent. None of them seem to actually be true when you dig a bit deeper. On the surface, it sounds like the problem, but what's beneath that is a lot of the time my clients are spending about 12 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, however many hours a day at work, pouring into everybody else's cup. Primarily their work. Demanding jobs takes a lot of energy, stresses them out quite a lot of the time, and by the end of the day they feel exhausted. Whatever energy they have left, they then pour into their relationships with their family, with their friends, and everybody and anybody else who demands a bit of them. That's where they. But then at the end of that, there's nothing left for themselves. Nothing's poured back into that cup. It's left drained and empty. And when you keep draining your energy, think about it like a battery. Like, you've spent all of that energy to the point where you're on low power mode. You're on 3%. But then when you say, oh, I just need to be more motivated, more disciplined, more consistent, a bit more willpower, you start beating yourself up for not eating well, for not doing something with your free time, with not going to the gym. It's like you're expecting yourself to give 100% when you've only got 3. It doesn't work. It's unrealistic. And there's a reason for it. It's not because you have a discipline problem, a motivation problem, a willpower problem, as I say time and time again. It's that you have a full cup problem. Meaning that your cup, it's not being filled up. And the reason it's not being filled up is because, well, first, it's cracked. Second, you're not filling it. And third, you're trying to pour into other people's cups when your cup's already drained. There's a different way we can go about this, and this is what the full cup method is. We want to fix your cup first so that it stops leaking. If you try and fill your cup and it's broken, it's just going to keep leaking. You're going to keep draining. You're going to keep running on empty. And that's exhausting. Once it's fixed, then you fill it. And once you start filling up that cup, that consistency you're looking for, the body you're looking for, the mindset you're looking for, just looking and feeling your best, not just for you, but for everybody else, it stops being something that you force. You stop trying to do it. It just becomes someone that you are. It becomes a part of you. This worked for me. Everything I'm sharing here has been my own story. Training literally saved my life. Like, in a time where my emotions were all over the place and I needed some stability, some structure, something to focus my mind on, something to fill my cup that at the time I didn't know was broken. That was training for me. That gave me a sense of security, safety, purpose, direction, a way to regulate the emotions that I essentially didn't really know how to actually name. But even after years of training, that wasn't the thing that really changed my mindset. My mind changed when I actually started to look inwards instead of trying to fix an internal problem with training. The gym got me so far, but then it got to a point years later where I had to actually look inwards into my thinking, my mindset, and start to learn who I was, understand who I am and what drives me. And I tell you this because this is what my program's built on. It's been through my real experience that I've taken my clients through that I now want to share with you. The full cup method, there's 3 phases: fix, fill, and flow. So fixing your cup is repairing the fractures in who you are, your identity, all the reasons that are stopping you and holding you back from investing that time, that energy into yourself. The guilt, that feeling guilty for being selfish, for not giving and saying yes to everybody else. That guilt for saying yes to yourself, we fix that. Second, once that's fixed, we then fill up your cup by removing the mental and emotional load that you're under. We integrate new habits with your training, nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, all the things that elevate your energy instead of consistently draining it. We get clear on what that looks like for you. We get that instilled into your week. Once we've got all this in place, we support you, we keep you accountable, we guide you to actually keep filling this cup up. But then once that cup is consistently being filled and not drained, you then flow from your cup. You pour into others' cups. You pour into your work, you pour into your relationships, you pour into your self-worth, and that just keeps on flowing because your cup's filled, you keep filling it, and it just keeps on overflowing. So we remove the guilt, we remove the load, and then we rebuild that self-trust. That's the order, and that is the whole full cup method. You can't do that in reverse. Okay? And this little, I don't even know how to say this word right, kint, suk, oroki. I mean, this puts it perfect, right? This Japanese philosophy around repairing cups. The cracks in your cup aren't the problem. They are actually the things that are going to make you stronger. They are the things that are actually going to make you a better person at the end of the day. The things that you think are flaws actually become your greatest strengths. The way we do this is through different frameworks that I've created from my own experience. The values alignment framework, the perception reset, which to take away that guilt and give you more guidance. Then there's filling your cup. The whole point is to reduce your mental load. So there's a daily did I checklist, and this is what we'll do inside the program. We'll look at the area of mindset, training, nutrition and recovery. Every box ticked is a step towards you filling that cup, fixing the cup, and making sure that you're making progress towards your specific goals and overcoming your challenges day to day. Any box unticked, that's what we focus on working on. We plan out your week, the most powerful week, based on your current week. So the schedule's there, you know exactly what to do, when to do it, and we hold you accountable to that. We remove the decisions by giving you the right tools so that you know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so you don't need to be sitting there thinking and trying to figure things out yourself. We make things simpler and easier for you to follow. And then we flow from your cup, which rebuilds your self-confidence, your self-trust, your self-worth and your self-esteem, essentially you. Because it's all good and well fixing your cup and filling it, but then what do you do with a full cup? Well, then you pour into your work, you pour into your relationships, you pour into your self-worth. Everybody and everything else gets your overflow, not your leftovers, not the dregs at the bottom of the cup. You give your best to it. And we do this through the 12-week standard. That is the system we have inside the program. We keep an achievement log so that we make sure we know exactly how working on your physical, working on your mental, working on your emotional is actually crossing over to all areas of your life, because as much as this is a fitness program and we work on your mindset, my intention here is to help you take that and translate that into all areas of your life, your highest priorities. We set the standard on day one and then we verify that at week 12. We see, right, has this change happened? So we'll be able to tell, has it worked, has it not? And if you follow the process in the daily did I, that's what we're looking to achieve. The body is the proof. When you look at the physical transformation, the before after, the fat lost, the muscle gained, that is proof that this has worked, but it's not the point. Coming home to yourself is the point. Feeling safe, feeling comfortable, feeling confident in your own skin, feeling proud of your body, being able to look in the mirror and think, yeah, I did that. That is the whole point. The real questions are, what about after a 12-hour shift, a long day where you're exhausted, you're drained? What about the feeling guilty for taking time for myself? What do I eat when there's nothing available? What about if the week falls apart, if something comes up? And what about that voice that says, I'll fail again? Every kind of doubt, question that comes up in your mind, none of them are excuses. These are all genuine questions that you'd want to find the answer to. And inside the program, we consider these questions and we build that into the program so that when that question does come up, when that challenge does come up, we move through it, we overcome it. We don't say, oh, that's just an excuse, just try harder. No, we take it seriously, we talk about it, and then we move through it. And we do that with each and every obstacle that's on the way to you actually achieving your goal. How it works, simply put, is inside my coaching app, you have your training, nutrition, your trackers, everything that you need from an accountability point of view. Inside school, you have the step-by-step method from start to finish. And then WhatsApp is how we keep in contact. We check in each week. You can book in one-to-one sessions in the gym, one-to-one calls to actually discuss and move through whatever's come up for you. All you really need is about 3 to 5 hours per week for this entire process to actually work for you. The question is, do you have 3 to 5 hours a week to commit to yourself? What we do in this system becomes yours. What we build, you keep. Plenty of clients, plenty of different results, but one of the ones that I really like come back to is my client Andy. She said I started to feel like myself again. She didn't have the confidence, work stress was constant, she couldn't switch off, and within weeks she felt happier, less stressed and like herself again. She feels confident in the gym, in her body, and in her life. And it's the same for Alan. He was lost, he was stuck, he just wanted a way out. Stress reduced, sleep improved, he felt stronger. He said it was one of the best choices that he ever made. AJ had really low self-esteem, anxiety, no motivation, stuck in a rut, but within a month they felt confident. Changes, which actually really improved their confidence and their mental health, right? Now they feel proud and they finally have that self-worth again. And again, I tell you this because these clients' results aren't exceptions. It's the same pattern that's been going on since 2019. The physical results that they achieve, they cross over to the mental. And when they're feeling physically and mentally better, it means they show up better at work. They show up better for those that rely on them. They show up better themselves. And on screen now is just a few videos of interviews and case studies behind some of my clients here. So if you'd like to have a watch, then you can get the document at the end of this. But each of my clients never changed. They're the same person. They just became more them. And it can be the same for you. It's the same you, just one decision apart. If you liked what you heard here, you feel like this is something that would benefit you, and you'd like to find out more, then just DM me full on Instagram at Ryan Gurdon. And here's my link to my bio. Thank you for watching.